It's Thomas Mulready from CoolCleveland.com. We are here tonight at the Cleveland Museum of Art for the Maltz Museum Stop the Hate Award. We're here with Ellen Rudolph from the Maltz Museum. Talk about these awards, Stop the Hate. It's a very unique program, and it really ties right into the whole message of what the Maltz Museum is all about.
Absolutely. The essay contest is so important to what the Maltz Museum does because the students that you will see before you tonight are modeling the values that our core values. They're out there every day in the community showing respect for other people, showing community building, and just doing amazing things, being courageous and confronting really complex societal issues.
So these are essays that these kids have written, and when you read them, it's hard to believe that they're students, isn't it?
It is. The issues that they are dealing with are very everyday, but they're very profound, and they're things that we hear about in the news every day, and they are having to figure out how to deal with them, while having to perform in school and conform. I mean, it's amazing how strong these students are.
We're talking now with Christian Borky. Christian, congratulations. This is a great honor. Talk a little bit about what you wrote in your essay.
Okay, well, I wrote a little bit about homophobia and the problems of homophobia in society, especially some of the subtler aspects of homophobia, and also wrote about how I plan to deal with some of it. I was marching in a Cleveland St. Patrick's Day parade, and it was exclusively LGBT, and everyone was pretty well accepting except for this one dude that was on the side of the street just yelling stuff, and it was whatever.
So you figured out a little strategy then for how to deal with this in the future?
Well, it's not necessarily a strategy. It's more of an attitude to carry yourself throughout life without letting people like that get to you. There's only so much you can do about someone else's opinion, so why bother thinking about that when you can think about how to, change the future?
Isn't that great?
It's amazing.
Isn't that amazing? We're here with Nooper Goel, and you just saw your portrait here. What did you think?
I just think it's so surreal that I had the opportunity to be able to participate in a competition that makes me into a cardboard cutout, and it's just amazing.
Talk about your essay and what you wrote about.
Okay, well, basically my essay talked about my transition from a public school into a Catholic school and how being a Hindu kind of hindered me from connecting with my peers because people didn't understand how an Indian could connect religiously and socially to Catholics. And so what I realized at my time at school was that people were not informed about my culture. They didn't know about me, and nor were they trying to. And so I decided that it would be helpful if I were to establish a course that taught about different religions and made it apparent that people like me deserve to be at the same school as them. So it was just, it just told my story, being a Hindu, going into a new environment, and I'm glad that I was able to make a difference.
I'm here with Jada Collins. Jada, talk a little bit about what you wrote in your essay.
I wrote about a girl in our class which just came, and she was judged about her looks and what she wore and money, and which I thought shouldn't be judged by. I thought it should have been judged by what was inside, but I was a little too shy to talk and stick up for her. Right. And then I talked about what I wished I could have did.
So do you think you're going to be a little braver next time and speaking up more quickly?
Yes, absolutely.
We're here with Kevin Gramajo. Hey, Kevin, you had an essay. I was so surprised. Talk about what you summarized in this, because when you first encountered this kind of bullying, you were very quite young, weren't you?
Yeah, when it all first started, I was probably in the third grade. There were common racial remarks against my Latino ethnicity, like they would call me rice and beans, tell me to go back to my country, things of that sort. So at the time, it affected me pretty badly, but what I started to do to cope with it is get very involved. I became president of my anti-bullying committee and multicultural club and just try to educate my peers.
What do you think triggered people? Was it your name? Was it? I mean, did you have any? What were your thoughts as a young person to say, why were people doing this? Why were they treating me this way?
Well, honestly, at that age, I didn't know why. I honestly thought some of those kids were my friends. But as got older, I believe it just stemmed from ignorance and not understanding other cultures.
So now what is your solution for this? What have you found as a way to sort of combat this?
What I personally do with my multicultural club is expose students. Actually, this Monday, I'm taking students to Amish country so they can see other cultures and civilizations, see how they live, and better understand them and interact with them.
Kevin, thanks so much for taking a few moments with us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, it's Thomas Mulready from CoolCleveland.com. Have a great week in Cool Cleveland.